Someone's here.
What?
Someone's living in our boat.
You know that guy?
I've never seen him before.
What'd you say, boys?
You got crosses in your heels.
Nails, shaped like crosses.
What for?
Ward off evil spirits. I'm waiting on my girlfriend. She got these birds tattooed on her hands here. Nightingale. Good luck, birds.
Mud. That's the intro. That's all I can think of for this review.
It's a name of the movie and a description of the movie.
That's right.
It is more than just all right.
Oh, you've been planning that for so long, since you've seen the trailer, probably. Yeah. You knew we were going to watch this eventually.
There were a lot of lawbreakers up in that house, though, where we saw it.
Oh, no. He keeps going. Oh, fuck. Puns aside.
It's not even a pun.
It's just a bad impression.
Mud is a new movie starring Matthew McConaughey, which explains the Magic Mike references.
Oh, yeah.
What's that?
I don't...
But the movie deals with this mysterious man named Mud who's living on an isolated boat on an isolated island until these two kids find him. And they're like, yo, we want your boat. And Mud's like, fuck you kids, go find my girlfriend.
Credits.
Yeah. That's the gist of it. But no, it's got a lot more to do with just that. The two kids, this is kind of a movie about the kids, really, more than anything. Especially one of the kids named Ellis, or the two kids are named Ellis and Neckbone. Yeah. And the kid who plays Ellis, his name is Ty Sheridan. This is kind of his movie. It has to do with like him learning. It's a really different coming of age story, I'd say, because it's like kind of harsh in the realities that he has to learn. But it has to do with him kind of bonding with Mud. He kind of finds like a father figure in him right now because his family's kind of falling apart.
Yeah, kind of.
And Mud, as I mentioned, is a mysterious man who he's wanted. Not by the law per se, but just, there's a lot of people out to get him, and the mystery is like what he.
Part of them are the law.
Yeah,
well, I guess part of them are the law.
Actually stop people.
So part of the mystery is like why exactly is everyone looking for him?
But my problem with that was it kind of got explained really early on.
Well, we'll get into the problems and stuff.
Okay.
Calm down, Tyrone. You'll get your time.
Always like ever since Obama got elected.
I know.
Like you just interrupt or something.
I can.
I'm kidding.
Oh, I thought you were talking about me.
No, I'm talking about.
Oh, okay. I don't know why you were bringing it up since Obama got elected. Jeff can feel
but anyway,
I thought Jeff would be my slave man.
I know. I'm kind of disappointed.
Yeah.
But anyway, mystery has to deal with why, and yeah, it does get solved kind of right away why he's wanted. But also has to do with him trying to get back in touch with his girlfriend, played by Reese Witherspoon, playing a girl named Juniper, who also is a little mysterious herself. Like, you kind of wonder, like, what's her whole deal? Why isn't she with Mud right now? And
no one's ever just named Joe in this movie. It's all like Neckbone, Mud, Juniper.
Senior. Yeah, you know what? They all have really interesting names. Except for James. James is just James.
There's also Tom. I mean, a lot of names Blake and Chip, which is cool, but his first name's just Tom. Also, everyone in this film gives me the vibe of like if I pulled up and said, "Hey, where's the gas station?" Right back where you came. Like everyone in this film.
You know, I don't think there was one black person.
No, there is not.
This whole movie.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, really quick to finish up the plot details. The movie all comes together with like a whole, all these things kind of clash together, and well, we don't want to give anything away. But there's a couple twists and turns in here that are pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Mud was actually dirt the entire time.
No, that's a sequel coming up.
Dirt.
It's actually the prequel.
That's true. Where would soil fall into?
Oh, dirt could be.
That's the origin story.
Soil could be the prequel, the Mud trilogy.
But anyway, let's get into the good before we get into the bad. Because I think we all have different things to say about this movie. I know Jeff and I probably liked it more.
Yes.
The Black Zeus.
Yeah, by a lot, probably.
We'll get into
by a sizable margin
what we liked about this and what we didn't. Because as much as I love this movie, I do have some problems with it. But first, the good. Jeff, since you're the one who was telling me about this movie, couldn't wait to see it, I'm going to let you start.
Was I?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, that's right. I do remember.
Just
that.
get it good.
Well, Matthew McConaughey is fucking great in this movie. It's funny how he's just figured out. You know what? I think I'll be in good movies nowadays. Like starting.
Yeah, it's like he literally just woke up. It's like, I'm going to be a good actor.
The Lincoln Lawyer. Let's start something.
Also, spoiler alert: he does take off his shirt.
Oh yeah, he does.
It seems like they were almost going to avoid it.
I know. And then they just decided, no, why not?
He even like mentions like, oh no,
never take
keep
off
my shirt on.
Yep.
Never keep the shirt, or never take off the shirt.
And it's like, oh damn.
Oh well.
And it's like, oh damn.
Whoa, calm down there. But yeah, Matthew McConaughey is great, and the kids are great, and which is, you know, if you're having a movie set around kids, you better make sure your kid actors are good.
Kids are all right.
Yeah, especially the kid who plays Ellis is fucking great. Like there's a scene near the end where,
fuck, I was gonna mention that.
Okay.
No, go ahead.
But yeah, there's a scene near the end where you're just like, oh kid, why you gotta do this to me? You make me have feels. This sounds weird.
Why you feeling me, kid? Don't you know I could go to jail?
Then I'll be wanted by the law.
Tyrone, you must have liked something.
I did know. I know what it like. I didn't like. I enjoyed a lot of the movie. Like the kid actors are good. I actually like the person who played Neckbone. Just he added a lot of humor. Yeah. Just a lot of. I don't know. The performances were all really good. I liked it. It fell short of where I kind of hoped it would be.
Well, I guess we could talk about that when we get to the bad.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure you got a lot to say about.
I don't have a lot. I do have complaints.
Well, you have something to say about it, which is like, unlike me, who I think I only have like 2 complaints about this whole movie.
Needed more Michael Shannon.
Yeah, that's one of them. But anyway, things I liked about this movie. As Jeff mentioned, Matthew McConaughey is great. But the real standout for me was previously mentioned Ty Sheridan playing Ellis in the movie. This really is his movie, and I'm hoping to see this kid in more things. He's going to be appearing in Mud 2, and I'm making a joke, but he's going to be in this movie called Joe, starring Nicolas Cage. Now, let me read you the plot for this movie. An ex-con who is the unlikeliest of role models meets a 15-year-old boy and is faced with a choice of redemption or ruin.
And just, he was 14 in this movie.
Yes. It's part 2.
Wow. And it even has a one-word title. 3-letter title.
No, I'm. He blew me away in this movie. Fuck, we shouldn't mention blowing or feeling with kids.
He blew me away by how much I felt in this movie.
He was amazing, I thought. And Jeff mentioned that the one scene near the end where he kind of like just breaks down and is just tired of everything. You know, he can only do so much as a kid, but he did a really, really great job in that scene. And that's the one scene in the movie that had me kind of choking up a bit. Everyone else did a really good job.
Sam Shepard especially.
Sam Shepard
really
is kind of like the father figure from Mud.
Yeah. And I know people, early reviews, because this played a few festivals, early reviews were like, Reese Witherspoon is really the weak link. And I didn't really, she didn't,
I felt that.
She didn't blow me away, but I never really thought like, oh, she's not really doing that.
Yeah, she's not the best, but she's definitely not bad.
I thought she was bad.
Yeah.
Every time she was on screen.
I didn't think she was bad. I thought she did a good job for her character, especially when her character takes a turn, kind of. And it was during those scenes where it's like, okay, you're making me feel this way about you, and I think that's a credit to your acting. Because, like, well, that's what the character calls for, and if I'm feeling it, well, you must be doing a good job at it.
Also, Michael Shannon, also good.
Michael Shannon's always good.
Yeah.
He was like the one good thing about bike assholes. What's it called?
Oh, you mean Premium Rush, that really fun movie
that
from
really
last year?
fucking boring movie,
that really
except
fun
watching
movie.
Michael
Yeah,
Shannon
you mean
awesome.
that really fun Joseph Gordon-Levitt movie?
No, I don't mean that.
That was
really
a hell
fun.
of a.
It wasn't
that
fun
was a
at
hell
all.
of a good time.
Man, did we ever do a review or talk about Premium Rush at all?
I don't know. Did we?
Was it
Some mud.
No, but this is one of those like actors movies, I'd say.
Yeah.
Because the plot, as much as it does take some turns, and it's kind of unique for a coming of age story, in the end, it's kind of like your basic, how's he gonna get out of this one type mystery. It's a bit of a noir, but like set in the where are they?
Arkansas?
Somewhere where there's no black people, and they probably
There's
don't
a lot
like
of
them.
No, there are black people, just they have to stay far away.
I don't think. Yeah, I'm trying to think like the hotel clerk.
No,
the boss.
there were no black people.
No.
But anyway, they like everyone does a good job, and Paul Sparks, who plays the bad guy in this, who if anyone watches Boardwalk Empire, you'll know him as Mickey Doyle.
He was really good.
Who's just like this Weasley asshole. He's really good bad guy in here because he's kind of threatening. He's scary when he's on.
He straight up punches Alice at one
He
point.
straight up punches a
Doesn't
kid.
even think about it. Fuck you, kid.
I haven't seen him in it. I saw his daughter Ruby.
Oh no, dude! He made a similar joke.
I know.
He made
When?
a while ago when I was on the phone with you telling you about Mud because I had seen it early.
Mm-hmm.
And I mentioned this after.
Oh, I
That's
did
when
do
you said
that. Yeah,
fucking
I wasn't
joke.
even thinking about that right now.
Another thing that should be mentioned is that
Tyrone, you just made a Jeff joke.
This is a movie from Jeff Nichols, who his previous movie Take Shelter.
I see that.
That's a really good movie from when was it? 2011.
11, yeah.
Yeah, an underrated movie of that year, also starring Michael Shannon.
Us Jeffs do well.
And this is his third movie, and if he keeps making movies like this, I'm looking forward to this next guy's work.
Absolutely.
The direction of this film I thought was really good. There are a lot of beautiful shots in here.
Oh yeah.
Especially like the closing shot. As much as I'm kind of not a fan of the ending, like the last 5 minutes, I do love the last shot of the film, which I thought was beautiful. Now it's getting to the bad, because someone's always got to spoil the party. Got to piss on the parade.
Oh,
on the mud parade.
if I could add one
You
thing.
can't.
I'm out. No. The score is actually, it's not like it's a kind of subtle score. It's not really bombastic or anything. Like no strings.
I remember liking it, but I can't remember it to save my life right now.
Yeah,
Like
but
how it was.
I liked it. I liked how
That's
simple
nice,
it was. Yeah.
All
right, but anyways.
I'm gonna let Tyrone start with what he didn't like about this movie.
Okay, my main problem was because I went into it expecting it to like be great. That's how I walked into it. And I started. It's a slow moving plot, but I felt like it was kind of struggling to figure out exactly where it was going, and then it kind of just ended all of a sudden, and there was this big climactic scene, and which kind of felt out of place for me with the rest of the movie. So it just, I don't know, I liked it. It didn't do anything. Like I wasn't like, oh my god, this was special or anything like that. And then also there's only 3 women in the entire movie, and all of them are kind of awful people, which is
Well, except for one of them. I mean, like
the mom. Well, the mom's not an awful person, but she's not written well.
I guess, yeah, they are kind of underwritten. One of just bitch
Yeah.
for no reason except for the fact that I don't know, she doesn't know any better.
It felt odd to me. I don't know. I'm sure they were trying to make some sort of point there, but it just kind of, yeah.
Yeah, I could. The thing is that before you saw it, I was thinking how some people could not like the last 15 minutes or so. Like
well, yeah.
Like it would seem out of place.
I wouldn't say the last 15 minutes because it almost has 2 endings for me.
Okay.
So there's like the climax,
Mhm.
and then there's when you're just laying down in bed and smoking your cigarette, that's what fell short for me.
I see. I realize totally realize why people would feel that way, but I don't get it that at all. I actually
I love
really
the
like
climax of this movie.
I really like the last 15
It was
minutes,
badass,
including the last 5
I
minutes.
thought it was
think are
like
great.
really tense too, which
Yeah.
is something that this movie needed. It was building up to it throughout the movie.
Yeah.
Because at one point or another, shit's gonna go down.
Yeah, well, that's why, for me,
the main hero has to face his demons and shit.
Yeah.
So, how's he gonna get out of it?
But
that's why it didn't seem out of place to me, because they were kind of built. They set it up earlier in the film. It would be different if it was like, oh, and then we can have this. But I don't know. It set up earlier in the film, so you knew in the back of your head, like, this is going to have to come to a head eventually.
In a way, it kind of pulls an opposite of No Country for Old Men.
Yeah,
Like the exact opposite of what No Country for Old Men did.
I guess too, I had an issue with the whole Mud and Juniper relationship, because they kept like subtly referencing it, but I never really felt like I got to know either of the two characters enough to really care about their relationship.
It felt to me like the Django and Hildy relationship in Django. You know, they do mention it. Obviously, they love each other, but their romance and stuff is more like a story in a way. Like
I guess
they're the two characters in this strange love story where I felt like I didn't really need a background. I
don't know if I needed
from his character alone, I understood why he wanted to get her back and why he wanted to, start a new life with her and everything.
I guess his character, I kept wanting to see more flaws in his character. Because they kept referencing all these flaws. Oh, he's a liar. He lies all the time. He's
violent.
He didn't really lie.
I guess, that's true.
Like, it felt odd to me because I kept thinking, oh, okay.
Yeah, I was thinking about that.
This character, okay, because I was expecting when I first met him, here's this kind of conflicting character. Oh, he's going to be really interesting. He's going to be going to have a lot of depth to him. And he just doesn't. He kind of is.
I was thinking about the liar part, like watching it again, like, because I've seen this 2 times now. What part, like, trying to figure out what part were lies and what part, because, it's
just, I can't think of any real flaws that he has, and just the way the film talks about him and the way he's kind of portrayed it, I feel like he should have had some sort of flaws that I could mention, but I just can't really.
In an odd way, I think it was kind of a coming-of-age story for him as well, even though he's this grown-ass man.
Yeah.
Because both him and Ellis have to deal with this harsh reality of life, and they both kind of deal with it in their own way. But it's kind of like the same lesson learned. And that's why I thought his whole relationship with Reese Witherspoon, I thought, at least that aspect of his character, I understood his what's the fucking word? Anyway.
Dictionary.com.
That ain't good. Motivation. I understood his motivation on wanting to get back with Reese Witherspoon.
All right.
Part of it, too, is just, I did not like Reese Witherspoon in this movie. It just, I don't know, every time she was on screen, it wasn't that, I don't like her character. It was just like...
I understand it.
It just took me out of the movie for, I don't know, it felt out of place for some weird, like...
I mean, yeah, like I said before, I didn't think she was great. She didn't blow me away like McConaughey or Ty Sheridan, but I thought she was good. I didn't think she was bad.
See, I thought the 2 kids were excellent.
Yeah.
McConaughey was kind of just okay on. He was fine.
I thought he was really good. I might have mentioned he was great earlier, but he still hasn't had a role for me. Oh, that's a lie. He was amazing in Killer Joe. That's the movie where I saw him as like, this is a fucking phenomenal performance.
I was gonna say,
and everything else, he's been good. He's been really good, but nothing to like where I would say he deserves a nomination for an Oscar or anything like that.
I thought he was really good at Magic Mike. Like that may be my favorite performance.
I never felt that.
Oh,
I just felt he was just being a really good Matthew McConaughey in this movie, and in that movie too. And as good as he was, the movie for me was always stolen by Ty Sheridan.
Yeah,
he's a kid who I feel deserves at least a nomination somewhere for some kind of award.
I don't think there was ever a point though where Matthew McConaughey was on screen. I wasn't thinking that's Matthew McConaughey.
Right,
like that never happened for me.
Yeah.
My problem with this is that it felt like it was gonna go, because like Take Shelter has its own kind of like weird mysticism to it, where you're not really sure if this is going to be like a real life drama or if there's like some kind of weird element of fantasy in it. And Mud kind of started out kind of the same, like his whole belief in like spirituality and stuff like that. I thought they were going to go some cool, weird twist with that. You know, because he has like nails nailed into his boots in the shape of a cross to ward off evil spirits and stuff like that.
And his shirt is imprinted with something that is supposed to be good luck.
Yeah, well, all this different spiritual stuff, but it never really it doesn't really come back to anything.
Yeah, it's just, there was a lot of times where they kind of would, like, say things that you're like, oh, and you can take mental notes, like, oh, that's going to come back later. It
comes back in one part.
Yeah.
And although I do like that scene, it's just like, I kind of just wanted more.
I guess my other thing is, Mud's kind of, like, from the trailers, just the lead up to the movie, I thought, oh, he's going to be this mysterious kind of character that you don't learn about to the end, and
no, you learn about him.
You learn about him, and it's kind of, his backstory and like the whole reason he's hiding and all that is really simplistic. It's like I was kind of hoping it would be more complex.
And the sort of problem I have with it, which Jeff mentioned, is that Michael Shannon, yes, he is in this movie. Yes, he is great because he's Michael Shannon.
4 or 5 scenes at the most,
and he's just like he's kind of just there.
Yeah,
he doesn't really even have any kind of arc. And his character kind of just disappears.
Yeah, oh, totally.
There's nothing they do with him, and that's...
If anything, he's a comic relief.
That's a big shame, because it's Michael Shannon.
Yeah.
I mean, you just don't do that with this guy.
Yeah, man. He didn't have a freak-out scene. In every Michael Shannon movie or TV show, there's always that scene where, we got Michael Shannon, we got right in a scene where he just breaks down and just kicks shit and punches people and yells.
He did not do that in this. He was oddly comedic.
Yeah.
It still kind of worked, but still, I just wanted more Michael Shannon. Also, I felt this movie was a little too long.
Yeah.
Like, there were things that could have been cut, I thought.
Yeah.
I was definitely feeling the fact that it's, almost 2.5 hours?
I didn't feel that at all.
2 hours and 10 minutes?
Yeah.
I
felt it was too long.
I was totally engrossed in the story. So, I don't know. I mean, for me, I love this movie.
Just, I guess for me, it's a slow movie, which I enjoy if the character's really interesting, but I found like very few of the characters were actually interesting or really detailed in a way that needed to be told slowly. Like, I don't know, if you have a character who has a big arc and is a very complex character, then you need the time, but I didn't feel like this needed it, because all the characters are really simplistic.
Right. Now you're probably wondering, because I said I love this movie, Jeff said he loved this movie, but maybe from my review, you might be wondering, like, so what rating is he going to give it? Because it doesn't seem like... It seems kind of like I'm more on Tyrone's side right now. But I want to go back into the good really quick on exactly why I love this movie. And the reason for that is not the story itself, but the different themes that the story shows. I'm a big fan of romance movies. This is just something about me. I've come to realize that a lot of my favorite movies are romance movies. And I don't mean like Nicholas Spark-ass fucking... boy meets girl bullshit. I mean, like,
more Katherine Heigl.
I mean, more like
will she ever find love?
And
in the next 90 minutes, I will show you that everything can be solved by. Yeah.
What?
I don't know. Just continue.
Family Guy reference. I don't remember the rest of it.
Oh my god! Well, one of the biggest themes in this movie for me, was was the whole idea of love itself. And what it means to love someone, and when you should give up on someone, when you should try to fight for them. And I thought they deal with that really good. And each of the characters has their own kind of, or at least each of the principal characters, they do have their own arc with that theme. Mm-hmm. And that's why I really love this movie. It's not what you discover from the story. It's more like what you learn from it and what you could take to kind of like think about and reflect on.
I guess,
that's why I really love this movie. And Ty Sheridan, like I said.
So I guess my thing though is I got the love theme. I promise if you're gonna have a thing about love, you need to write the female characters better. Like they were just kind of used to be like, oh, she's a bitch. You're not supposed to like her, and I think you need to make them more complex than that.
See, one of the reasons I really like it is that...
But that goes back to that whole thing about love, though, where like when he's explaining why he loves this woman, that's all I need to hear. I totally get all that based on his performance and what he says, which this is why I felt like none of the female leads were kind of...
I feel like you can't...
I didn't think they were underwritten.
But they're... Like, for example, his quote-unquote girlfriend, she's not really a character. She's in a few scenes. She's very stereotypical. I don't know her at all, and
it's more of a learning experience for him, I guess. One of the reasons I really like it, though, is that just when you think, say what you will about the characters, one of the reasons I like it is because just when you think one of the characters is one thing, then you hear another character talk about them, like give perspective on.
Talk a little louder.
Sorry. Like you'll think Mud is like this mystical, as Sam Shepard calls him one time, badass. But there's that scene where he sits down with Ty Sheridan and lays out what he's learned about Mud. There's a scene where Reese Witherspoon, you learn a little more about her. There's different perspectives.
There's one
on
scene where
each
you just kind of feel
character.
bad for him too.
Yeah,
like he's like learned this harsh truth, and it's like, oh, this poor kid almost. Like,
well, even at the end, like I won't say it actually, but there's even a scene where they didn't have to include that scene, but it shows another character's perspective where we're like, oh wow, that's really interesting. I wasn't even thinking about that.
I guess you have to tell me about
this
in a second.
Yeah, there's no way to talk about it without spoiling it.
Right,
but,
you don't want to do that.
Yeah. But yeah, this movie is really, really good. I was expecting it to be good. But
it was really engrossing.
Yeah.
I was entertained almost the entire thing. It's like I said, I felt like it dragged on a couple points. I was kind of nodding off when I saw it just because I was really tired. But that aside, I still really loved the movie. It kind of made me think of Sling Blade.
I never saw it.
Also set in a small town. Also dealing with a kid who's learning from this mysterious man. Only I think Sling Blade had a way better mystery. But it felt kind of like that, like a strange noir mixed with a coming of age story. And for that, I mean, I kind of just really, really respect this movie. And it's one of my favorite movies this year so far.
I don't really think of it more of a mystery. It's like, yes, there's a mystery element of who is Mud. But once you figure it out, I didn't really have the reaction of like, oh, that's it. It's more like, oh, so where's this going to go from there?
Okay, yeah, that's true. It goes from a mystery more to like a thriller.
Yeah, and where it went from there, because I was so engrossed in the story, I was really involved throughout the 2 hours and 10 minutes. This is fucking great. I really do love it. I might love it the most out of all you guys. I really did love it.
Yeah, you probably do.
Yeah, man.
You definitely do.
Oh, absolutely. I love this movie.
So let's go into the ratings.
Just for me though, it's really slow moving, which is fine, but the characters just didn't work for me at all. Like I just didn't think they were interesting enough. The performances were good, but yeah, I'll give it 3 out of 4.
All right. I'll give this 4 out of 4. And
you give it whatever you want.
That's a no-brainer. That's a no-brainer for me. Hey man, I've raved about you.
Thank you.
What the fuck? I've raved about this movie.
I appreciate that.
I've raved about this movie to you for a while, so it probably shouldn't come as a surprise for you at least. I am giving this 4 out of 4. I love this movie. From the performances to, like I said, the score. It's just the cinematography is gorgeous. It's a great story. And I do like the characters in this. It's just 4 out of 4. I'll probably buy this on DVD. I really do love this movie.
And for me, as much as I did really enjoy myself and love this movie and the story, and like I was mentioning, like I really like the themes of the movie, the problems of the movie still held it down a bit for me. So I'm going to give this 3.5. Not quite perfect, but it's almost there. And it is, like I mentioned, one of my favorite movies this year so far.
All right.
Yep, you just had to ruin it.
Your best Matthew McConaughey impression now.
No.
Okay.
All right. Is that the only line he has that's like famous?
I don't know. There's a few lines from it. Oh no, the one from Dazed and Confused. I always fuck up, but I'm not even gonna try right now.
Yeah, and on the theme of like child rape and shit, I don't think it's good to say that one.
Don't be good to me. You're the only friends I got out here.
You did it for her. Protect her.
Don't expect any help from me.
We got too much riding on this.
You know you don't know him, right?
What have you been doing?
Everything you told me was a lie!